Hi there, my name is Kaylee. This is Harvey, and we're tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. Shay is at work. Shay's on her way to work. She just had to leave, but this video is already late, so I didn't want to. Okay, all right. So I didn't want to make you guys wait too much longer. We're gonna be taking a look at August, how our annual goals went, how our challenge went, and Harvey's butt apparently, and just how things went overall. So let's dive on in. So for those of you who are new, every month I like to go over how the month went as far as our goals and our challenges. And because we're complicated and nerdy, goals and challenges are two different things. So goals are things that I'm tracking annually overall, like net worth, student loan pay down, what else is on here? Like emergency fund, things like that are like really long-term goals. I like to just check in, see how things are going. I've got a few silly ones on there and I'll explain them as we go. Challenges are different, and challenges are fun little things we do every month throughout the year. Like for 1 month, we were saving for Shay's Roth IRA. 1 month, we tried to keep the grocery budget as low as possible. Those are just fun little things that we do for small, focused amounts of time to just keep things interesting. You know, sometimes just dredging along and student loan balance is going down, net worth is going up. That's great. These are things that we're going to be working on for years and years and years. And we needed something to help kind of anchor us in the fun of, this is a crazy sentence, the fun of budgeting. So Shay's idea was shorter term challenges. So that's what we're doing. Also, I guess if you're new, Shay is my wife, who is not here right now. She is entering that season. She's an actor in New York City. She's entering that season of her life where it gets busy in the fall through the spring. So she's out and she's going to be doing some costuming work in a theater in the West Village. So usually she does these videos with me, but I like to post on Tuesdays. It is Wednesday. The week has already gotten away from us, which is just absolutely wild. Busy season at work for me, so I'm doing what I can. So let's take a look here at our annual goals. We'll do annual goals, then we'll do challenges. So one of the things we wanted to work on this year, at the beginning of the year, again, these are all goals. The goals and challenges actually were all set last December. We set them for the entire month of 2024, and then some things have shifted. So originally one of our goals was to save for a down payment. And so when we got married in June, we asked in lieu of gifts, please don't give us gifts. We live in New York City. Our apartment's very small. We don't need many things. We've also lived together for quite a while, so we've amassed, our house is pretty set. So we said, if you would like to contribute a gift towards the wedding, you don't have to, but if you'd like to, then we're going to be putting money into a down payment fund for our future home. So that's where a lot of this money came from. And then, you know, after the wedding, we both sat down and had to have a conversation of, we want to buy a house, we want to pay off the student loans, we want to set ourselves up for financial independence. And doing all three of those at once meant we would be doing all three of them not well. So we needed to kind of pick one to focus on, and we decided to pay down the student loans aggressively. So this money that we received as gifts from the wedding, we are leaving in a high yield savings account. It is still getting interest, and we may contribute to it now and again, but it is just not our hard and fast focus. So this is going to continue going up, but it is going to be much slower than it was, as you can see here, in the months of May through July. So, because we got married June 21st, and that was, you know, all that. So in the month of August, this account did earn interest, and that puts it at $3,227 towards our future down payment. And that's about it. You know, our goals and our plans shifted throughout this year majorly because, you know, it's the year that we got married. And so we had to really look at life and see what was going to be possible for us. And this one, unfortunately, hasn't taken a back seat, but it is seated. Similar, as you can see, with the fully funded emergency fund, this is enough to pay our rent for a month if need be. Shay also has a separate emergency fund for before we got married. We kept those separate just for, you know, peace of mind. We obviously never want to break up. We never want to get divorced, but it's good to have your own individual savings. And that was another one of those hard conversations we had before we got married of, you know, we want to be together forever. We obviously just got married. We're in great shape, and we both deserve to have a small peace of mind. So this is my part of the emergency fund. Shay has a separate emergency fund that's her own, that I don't have access to. That's her own thing. She's not contributing to that majorly right now either. But this is my emergency fund that sits in a high yield savings account and collects interest every month. And so that has gone from $2,746 to $2,762. This is also something that before we ever bought a house, we'd want to beef up, but we'd like to pay off the student loans. Fat FIRE. I feel like I do a terrible job of explaining this one every single month. So FIRE, capital FIRE, is Financial Independence Retire Early. And this is the idea that you can have enough money in your brokerage and savings and retirement accounts to withdraw a small percentage every year and live off of that money in perpetuity. So, like, for example, our goal is like $1.5 million overall savings could cover our basic expenses for the rest of our lives, in theory. In practice, again, we're focusing on the student loans, so this is ongoing. This is not my retirement savings, but it is if we were to take all of our accounts that we consider our like retirement accounts, so my brokerage account, Shay's Roth IRA, my Roth IRA, my work 401k, all of that, and withdraw a 4%, which is usually called the safe withdrawal rate, and withdraw 4% off those accounts. This is the amount of money we would have to live on every month. So in July, it was $197.32. Obviously, that doesn't pay my bills, but I like to track it this way because it's really digestible. It makes a lot of sense to me. So in August, the market had a decent month. So it went to $207.93. So if I were to retire today and I could find some place where I could live off of $207.93, we'd be good to go. I don't know of any place like that, and I don't know that I would want to live like that, but I think it's fun to track that way. Looking at just big, gargantuan retirement account numbers, just that doesn't make as much sense to my brain. So this is a fun way that I like to track that. The fat part of Fat FIRE is you could have a 4% withdrawal rate and cover your basic expenses. Like our $1.5 million would cover us. I think it's $60,000 a year that covers our basic expenses, and then we wouldn't have to work, but we probably should at that point to make sure that we're comfortable. And Fat FIRE is if I were to save like $5 million and we could live off of $200,000 a year, which is more than we make right now by a decent amount, and we'd be living large, living lavish. It's like fat padding in the accounts is what Fat FIRE means. And that obviously is everybody's goal. I guess, you know what, that's not, I always say that. It's not true. It's not everybody's goal, but that would be fun. For me to leave the workforce right now, it would need to be like that level of living lavish. Because I don't dislike my job, and we're having a good time, and we want to be very comfortable. So that's why I call it the Fat FIRE section. Hopefully that was a better explanation than I've done in the past. This is our gross cumulative annual income. Again, like I said before, we live in New York City. Taxes are aggressive in New York City, but we've also got public transit that makes transportation really cheap, which is nice, and we really like living here. So this number is large for a lot of places in the country, and in New York, we're doing okay for sure, and we're able to pay down debt, and that I am grateful for. So in August, the both of us together hit our gross income of $91,675. I had a large income increase in 2023, and so these numbers still look like play money to me. And this is mine and Shay's together. So Shay also has a bunch of multiple part-time jobs. She's all over the place, working hard. So a good jump. That's nice. That's just nice for us to track. I think, honestly, after this year, I think we'll stop tracking this monthly, because now that we're in a comfortable space of debt pay down, and we know we can afford our life and things, and we're really dialed in with the budget, it's not as helpful to track this number because it's all accounted for. And I've been in my same job for a full calendar year. Like, it's just, hey, I don't think we'll track this in 2025. Ooh, let me move. I'm in your way. Sorry. The student loan balance. So again, for those who are new, I have a master's degree in directing for theater, which I am grateful I did. It helped me get out of my hometown, which was not a great place for me to be. And it helped me, kickstart my life in New York. And I don't direct for theater professionally. That's not what my job is. And I don't regret going to the school I went to. I don't regret getting that degree, but I would probably do it a little bit differently with the knowledge I have now about finances and how hard it is to pay down student loans. But you know what? You can't go backwards. You can only go forward. So we are working very hard. We decided after the wedding, we sat down, had a hard conversation. I'll link it down below. We had that conversation on camera, which was, I think, good for, having conversations with your partner around budgeting, I think is just as, if not more important than sitting down and doing the actual numbers. So we had that conversation. We decided that we wanted to focus on getting this number paid off before we bought a house, before we were able to do our next big things in life, because obviously this is a big freaking number. There's no joking around with how impactful this has been on my life, but also can't go back, can only go forward. So in August, with the SAVE plan, which is the, I don't remember what it stands for, say a valuable education something, I don't know. But there was something about interest forgiveness and interest forbearance and all these things. So this number went down a lot. We do pay a lot towards these loans. A lot of my expendable income goes to paying down the student loans. $300 off the top of every single paycheck that I get goes directly to student loans. Any extra money we come into, all of it goes onto the student loans. And also, there was an interest drop in the month of August that is a large chunk of what you're about to see. We did not pay this much money towards the student loans. I wish we could, but. So, as you can see, we've been taking off a month and, getting a month closer and dropping a month. So we've been shortening this gap quite a bit in the last year or so. We've been working really hard on this. And this student loan, the interest forgiveness thing helped a lot. So this took off a full calendar year off of the repayment date, which is crazy. It's just absolutely wacky. That is going to allow us to pay off what was my largest graduate school loan in the month of September. Actually, here in a couple of days, we're going to pay off that loan. Like, for sure. It's going to happen. With the help of a lot of you guys. You've all been very generous in the Buy Me a Coffee realm and all that, and it is so appreciated and so not necessary. Like, don't put yourself through hardship to help support us, but we do also really love having this channel to show that, like, this isn't going to end your life. I think there's a lot of people who would see a number like this and panic and think that, oh, my life is over, and I like us to be visible to the world and show that, like, it's hard, and you can have a life and make this happen for yourself. So I wouldn't recommend getting into 6 figures of student loan debt. Can you imagine if I was like, do it, it's totally fine. No, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can keep going. And we're still going. So we've shaved off a full year. I use the web app Undebt. I'll put it somewhere. Undebt to track. I put in the updated thing and it shows how long it's going to take with my current repayment plan to pay off. So this is where we're at right now. Still a little longer than I want it to be. Still a lot longer than I want it to be. I'm turning 32 on Friday, like in here in 2 days. Somebody commented a couple weeks ago and said, you both look like you're in your 20s. So, and then said something else. And I was like, do I? Thank you. Yeah, I'm turning 32. And my original dream state was to have all of these loans paid off by the time I'm 35. Which is not impossible, but it is a bit of a stretch. But I would definitely, I'm still going to stick to that original goal. That's the goal. But if I could get it paid off before 2030, that'd be rad. Because I don't like it. Yeah, this is a big jump. This is very good. We're going to be sub 130 for sure by the end of the year, which is fantastic. Actually, decently under, maybe 125. I just say stuff sometimes. I don't know. All right, I'm rambling now. And then the next thing we check is the overall net worth. This is the classic. Everybody, we don't have any major assets. We don't own a house. We don't own cars. We don't own much anything of value that is, what's the word, tangible. There's nothing like, we don't own anything. But we are contributing to retirement accounts, paying off student loans, and that's where we want to be worthless, is what I'm trying to say. One day, hopefully soon, we will have a $0 net worth. And to some, that may sound crazy to be excited about a $0 net worth. But to me, having been negative 6 figures net worth for quite some time, being worth nothing sounds really nice. In the month of August, we made great progress with that huge student loan jump. We got to negative $53,902. So we were fast approaching a $0 net worth, which is helped out by the stock market and my retirement funds because my company has a very generous 401k match. Paying down the student loan helps, contributing to Shay's Roth IRA month over month. It's just we're pulling a lot of levers to make this functional and happen for us, and it's good to see. We've had a few months this year where it was kind of, stagnant because the stock market is going to do what it does, but overall it's really good to see the overarching progress throughout the year, which is why we track these things. So those are all the annual goals that we track. We just kind of tack in and see where we're at. We're going to switch them up again next year. We switch them up pretty much every year of what we want to focus on and what we want to look at every month. Because it's meant to be motivating. So if we're looking at stuff and it's not motivating us, then there's no point in tracking it. But now we can look at challenges. So our challenge for the month of August was my Roth IRA. If you haven't been around for a while, we did Shay's Roth IRA a few months back, and we made a very large contribution, over $1,000, to Shay's Roth IRA. That was something that was very much a priority for us because, like I said, I have a company 401k. I work for a large company. They have a great 401k match. I have ongoing retirement savings that have been ongoing for years. Shay works for a private company, very small business, like local owned small business, and is an actor. So Shay did not have any retirement funds before we met and started dating at all because that's just not something that the places that she works offers. So we got Shay a Roth IRA opened and started contributing to that. We contribute every single month, but also giving it a boost and getting it really kickstarted was very important to us. So we made a huge contribution to that. Like I said, over $1,000. That helps give her peace of mind for her retirement, and also a Roth IRA grows. It's the tax advantages. There's a lot of great reasons to contribute to a Roth IRA. I'd recommend it. And I also have one, but I don't contribute to it as much because it's kind of just when I have extra stuff, I throw money at it. In the month of August, we were still kind of playing catch up from the wedding. The wedding and the honeymoon, and it's just a very expensive time. So even though this was a double paycheck month, as we call it, we did not make any additional. I think I threw $10 from something that I did randomly in there, but we did not make any extra contributions to my Roth IRA. Obviously, I wasn't stoked about that, but it was much more important to me to fill like all our sinking funds and try to get ahead on our day-to-day life after what was it expected but exponentially spendy summer. We spent a lot of money this summer with the wedding and the honeymoon, and my family was in town, and then I had a friend in town, and it was just, we spent a lot of money, and we didn't go into any credit card debt. We tried to stay on top of our spending. We were able to cover lots of stuff. We were able to get a little bit ahead in some of our sinking funds. And so while technically this August challenge, is a total failure on paper, I feel fine about that. My company match and my 401k is great. I have retirement savings. Shay's was a major priority for us to get her caught up, or to start the process of getting her caught up in retirement savings, but I feel fine about this. Like, I'm bummed. It'd be nice to have, had the kind of month where we had an extra $1,000 to throw at this, but it just wasn't in the cards. And we did throw a lot of extra money on the student loans, just pulling from other sources. And like I said, that's my priority for myself right now. So I think even if we did have extra money to throw into my Roth IRA, it's very likely, and I honestly thought about it, and I was gonna put it on the student loans. That's what's motivating to me right now. That's what's really getting me going right now. And I need to, that's where my brain is. So unfortunately, August was an epic fail for our monthly challenges, and that's okay. But looking forward to September, our challenge is free/cheap date night. So we have a date night category that we fund, and we put $175 a month in. This is separate from our eating out. It's separate from our booze budget. It's separate from our fun money. This is a category just on the two of us going out together and having like a date. Let's make sure to spend time, whether that's, sometimes we go get ice cream, sometimes we go out for a full meal, sometimes we stay in and order a pizza and watch a movie that we buy on Amazon. It's all those things that keep us connected and together, and it's, date night is important. But, we live in New York City and we have access to 1.5 million different things to do for entertainment and fun. And so we want to try to spend as little as possible on date night from that category, and then put that extra money on, guess what? the student loans. So that is our focus for the month of September. And I will say so far we have been too busy to go on a date. So technically successful so far. Technically. So that was our goals and challenges for the month of August. I think it went well considering is my overall analysis of the month of August. This summer was wild and we knew it would be, but there was no preparing for how absolutely wild. Getting married and having your entire family fly across the country. There was so much happening this summer, and it was wonderful and amazing, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And it means that we needed to put some stuff on the back burner for long-term focus, and that's okay, because we're going to make up for it in abundance as soon as we can. Upcoming. So that's it. That's all from us. Well, from me. Harvey left me. We will be here Friday morning. Friday, like I said, is my birthday, and several of you have sent some buy me a coffee stuff saying happy birthday, and that is so sweet and nice, and I just appreciate it so much. You all are this is a really wonderful little community that we've got building here, and I cannot express enough how grateful I am that you guys all care about what we're doing here. We just want to make sure that, well, honestly, the reason I started this channel was to keep myself motivated and remind myself of how far I've come. And this channel definitely does that for me still on a regular basis. And what I didn't anticipate was how motivated and inspired you all would be to make changes in your own lives. And that is kind of still hard for me to wrap my brain around. I read some comments sometimes and people are saying, you've made changes in your own life and you're starting to pay off debt. And that is incredible. And I just feel like so proud of people that I don't know at all. I'm proud of all of you. You're all doing amazing work. And I'm grateful you're all here and want to see how this is going for us. This is going to be a really long journey, paying off these loans. I know we're making great progress, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a long time. And so having this channel to kind of point back to and reference, I go back and watch old videos all the time to kind of put into context the work that we've done and how much change we've made in our lives. So it's a really long way of just saying thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for always encouraging us and being so kind and making suggestions and just really cheering us on. It really does mean the world. We talk about you guys like you're our friends. Even though I'm mad at Angel because her team beat mine last week. It was rude of you guys. It was a good game though. It was a great game. But I'm so mad at you. we sit and we chat like you guys are friends we just had over for dinner. So thank you. I appreciate you all more than you know. And we'll see you to pay off student loan 15 on Friday.